Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Tonight, I'm taking a look at the Bandai S.H. Figuarts Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. You've probably heard me mention it before. I was originally going to skip on this figure. I don't need another Obi-Wan. There's not a lot to my Episode 2 display. I figured, hey, save some money. Spend that money on something else. But then Bandai came along and showed their Episode 2 Anakin. And at the time, the rumored Padme from Episode 2. And all of that made me go back and order this one. So they got me, hook, line, and sinker. Now the packaging is the standard SH Figuarts packaging. It's just black with the silver highlights. The window box shows pretty much everything you get. The head, the lightsabers, some hands, the body. It may have something else hidden down in the bottom. I'm not sure back here behind here. On the side, a pretty picture of Obi-Wan. On the back, some more poses of Obi-Wan. I guess I'd forgotten there's two heads that come with this figure, but looking at it now that I have it in hand, it doesn't look like there's a huge difference. Kind of like Mace Windu. There's an angry head, and there's a slightly more angry head. And then down here, a bunch of stuff I can't read. It probably says, do not pray to this figure. It is not a Jesus figure. And for those of you out there who were expecting those kind of jokes, that's probably the only one I'm going to do. I'm not going to get too much into the Jedi Jesus look of the figure. On the other side, Star Wars logo with more silver. On the top, same thing. So I'm going to get this open and see just how different it is from the figure I already have. And there you go, all out of the package. And I have to admit, I like the look of this figure more than the one I already had, the Episode 1 Obi-Wan. But that doesn't mean it's better in the QC department, which we will get to in a minute. Yeah, it's one of those days. But the look here, I like the older Obi-Wan. The longer hair, the kind of the mullet look, it kind of makes the figure flow from head to toe, if that makes any sense. It fills out better. And the face this time around looks better, at least the solemn face, the neutral face. The skin tones are better. Now, the Episode 1 isn't a slouch when it comes to the likeness department, but I feel like this looks more like Ewan McGregor. The sheen on the boots and even the skin tone feels more natural this time around. Getting to the hair, Bandai usually uses like a metallic color for that. It's much more subdued here. It looks kind of like a bronze, if anything, if we're going to go into the metallic spectrum. But it's not straight up gold on top of brown. And going ahead and doing this comparison, I get this out of the way so I don't just talk about it with nothing to fall back on. You can see the skin tone on the older Obi-Wan is a little bit darker. You can kind of work that into canon as Padawan Obi-Wan didn't get out much, maybe. Here, he's a little bit more grizzled. The skin tone's a little bit darker. I can live with that, really. Pretty much the whole body is the same sculpt as the first one. The only difference I can really find is the back of the belts. The front looks pretty much the same, but the back, it's got different pouches, got different little cartridges. Now, my problem comes in here. With the first Obi-Wan, you got some neck movement down in the body. Kind of forward, kind of back, side, side. With the new Obi-Wan, it feels like it's stuck down in there. You move to the side, it goes back to center, side, back to center. It feels solid, like there's nothing down there. It's either stuck or it's missing, which kind of sucks because with the extra hair sticking off the back, you need that extra movement to kind of get it off the collar. It hits a lot there. There's no looking up because of that hindered movement down there. Down is okay, but it's all at the skull. Which brings me to problem number 2 is that they move the socket further up towards the face, up inside the head. Again, that kind of hinders movement, and it also makes it kind of a pain to put this on here because you have to line it up while avoiding the hair on the collar, and then you have to kind of shove back and down to get it to get on there. The head that came on it, the neutral head, pretty easy to pop on there. It's the second head, the angry head, that causes the problem because it almost seems further forward than the other one. So you're trying to line everything up there, and the peg wants to move away from you as you try to get it on there. See? I didn't even know the peg had slid to the back. So, yeah, that's like needle in a haystack right there. Now, going to this head. This is the slightly more angry head. First of all, the eyes are different sizes. His right pupil is a little bit bigger than his left pupil. On top of that, he's kind of looking to his left, just very slightly, so it doesn't line up. And third, the whole face itself seems dirty and out of focus. And on top of that, the likeness just doesn't seem as good here. This one, I can see Ewan McGregor. This one, not so much. The hair color's different. It's almost like a different dude. And to finish off my gripes, the rocker ankle on the right foot is non-existent. I don't know if that's gummed up like the neck, but yeah, it just does not want to go. Now going over articulation, there's a ball going up into the head. It's some side to side, not a lot of up. Pretty good down. Like I was talking about, that's all hindered because of the neck being stuck. You have a peg going into the body, kind of a ball joint. You get up. There's a cup sticking out that kind of covers the articulation there. Then it swivels around. There's a swivel at the bicep, but it doesn't like to turn. It's really, really tight. Single elbow, but it gets up past 90. Ball at the wrist, which gives you swivel and hinge. You can set it to hinge up and down or side to side, wherever you want to set the hand. And then you have swivel. The torso has a ball at the waist. There is a shift up. And then it gives you more range of movement. And I guess this is how Django is supposed to work. Mine doesn't work that way. It just stays loose all the time. But I do like how it works here. It's still tight, but it gives you extra range of movement. And then you shift it back down, and it kind of locks into place. You can still get movement with it down, but with it up, it gives you just a little bit more range. And if you pull it apart, you can see how it works right there. There's the socket for the ball joint coming up out of the waist. Then there's a hinge right on top of it, so it shifts up and down like that. The hips are on a swing down joint, but it doesn't work as good as other figures. It just has a slight shift down, but it gives you some extra range of movement there. And the hip is really tight on this one too, but you can get forward. Back, not so much. The butt kind of gets in the way. Out, not quite 90, but pretty good. There's a swivel at the thigh. Again, really, really tight. Single knee, gets up past 90. Hinge at the ankle. Not a lot of movement there. It gets back, gets forward. And like I said, the rocker on the right foot is stuck, but it's supposed to be there. And then a toe joint. For accessories, he has a pair of fists. Even in this picture, you can see the seam line going across the front of the knuckle. That's not apparent on the episode 1 version. So a mold degradation or something, it just looks a lot more rougher than the first version. You get 2 grip hands that are kind of open. They're kind of angled forward for lightsaber action. You get 2 grip hands that are closed for holding the lightsaber. You get 2 splayed out open hands. And then finally for the right hand, you get kind of a Jedi mind trick thing going on. And then P-Sun, Three Stooges, or when he was battling Grievous. And then he comes with a lightsaber hilt, deactivated. It's got a peg on it that plugs into the belt, looks nice. And then he comes with an ignited lightsaber, pretty much same sculpt as the episode 1 version. Now to put it in the closed hand, or really if you want to slip it into the hand, the pommel comes off. You gotta, and yeah, you do not want to do that. Definitely don't do this over carpet. You want to do this over your desk, something, because if you drop this thing, it's gone. I mean, it's disappeared forever. Now, you see the pin on the end of the hilt. It actually has a flat side on the side of the pin. So on top of trying to get this little thing plugged back onto the hilt, you also have to line it up and then push it on. So, yeah. If you can't see it, just twist until you push it on there. For comparison, here he is with the Black Series Anakin. I know this is the episode 3 version of Anakin, but you can see the size difference. Figuarts usually come out a little bit smaller, but on the overall 6-inch shelf, I think they fit pretty good. So at the end of the day, I'm a little bit disappointed with this, but the overall look I like better. This will look pretty good standing with the episode 2 Anakin and then the Padme whenever they decide to solicit that one. The neck being stuck on mine really sucks, but it's only necessary if I were getting it into super duper action poses. It sucks paying for essentially the same figure again, and then to have a couple of QC issues on top of that. You know what? To hell with this. Yes, I may look at this figure and I like it more, but I'm not going to gloss over the problems it has. I don't know if I can actually recommend this to anybody, because on top of all of that, like I said way at the beginning of this, I was going to skip this in the first place. And when it comes down to it, I probably would have been completely happy not having this on the shelf, especially if I'd known about the QC issues before I got it. But I have paid the money for it. I do have it in my possessions, so I have to make lemonade out of lemons. Now that I have it and can't do anything about it, I have to overlook the problems. Again, I don't know if I can actually recommend this. Look at the pictures, look at the video. If you can live with these problems, go ahead and order it. If you can't live without him being with your Anakin and your Padme, go ahead and get it. But if you're just thinking about getting an episode 2 Obi-Wan, this is kind of a letdown. And you guys know me, I hate being negative, but as I was posing around, as I was trying to get poses and stuff, I just couldn't get myself to get excited about it. So if you like this review, comment, like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the Fwoosh.